I think we're live. Everybody's settling in. Got my doggy under my feet here. So welcome and shalom. We're live again tonight. On this Wednesday, I think it is. Hump day. May 24th. Huh. Okay. It is May 24th, Wednesday, 2023. It's 9:27 p.m., almost 9:30 p.m. Central Time. And we are going to see where did this flood story come from, huh? As a matter of fact, let me pull up my chat so I can see. Let's see here. Anyway, I hope you all had a wonderful day. It was a very cold, chilly day here in Minnesota. At least northern Minnesota. Cold compared to what it's been, but it's going to warm back up tomorrow. Be beautiful and sunny for many days. So, super happy about that. There's my chat. I'll pull that up. There it is. There it is. Did the Bible copy the flood story? Well, we'll find out, and you can decide for yourself. Where did this flood story come from? Actually, let me see. You know what? I couldn't find it on the internet. They purposely hide things because they know you're going to go look. Let me just check. Let's see what the Google says. It says... that was going to be okay. All right, so I'm just going to ask. Oh, I guess Tina Turner died today. Huh. That is what Zach Hubbard is doing right now, I see. All right. And I guess somebody on YouTube named Secret Agent Man. We had a Secret Asian Man, but there's somebody on YouTube called Secret Agent Man that passed away today. I don't know if he passed away today, but they announced it. A lot of people died on YouTube. On my all right, here it is. So as you can see by the title, I'm going to bring up some things tonight that I think are interesting. All right. Pulling that up. All right. So, hi, Dee. How you doing tonight? Welcome and shalom. I was just pulling something up that I want to look for. So, anyway, I hope you had a wonderful day. It was very cold here. I don't even know if it was in the 50s, I think. Really cold, cloudy, and cold. Windy. Not nice at all. You're doing okay? So how was your day? Did you go to the stuff you thought maybe you might want to go to? Or I was going to see how... It wasn't even... Wow. It's 45 degrees right now. It got cold. You know, I don't care as long as it don't get nowhere near freezing because I got some plants outside now. It looks like it's good to go. You know what? Did I go to the consignment shop? No. To the thrift shop? No. Next week I'm gonna go though. I went into town because I had to. I went into town because I had to go to the post office. They opened at 8:45, so I went there and it was really cold this morning. And it was just cold. I just went home. Um, and actually, it was so cold. I came home and laid down on the couch and took a nap. So cold. Yeah, it was the 40s. And I think it got up to 50. I don't know. But next week is the 90% off. The last Wednesday of the month is 90% off. So if I would have went today, it would have been 75% off. So today would have been 75% off, but next week is 90% off. So I'm gonna try to make it next week. Just it was so cold, wasn't in the mood. Well, hey Grace, how you doing tonight? Welcome in, Shalom. Yes, Bible study was okay. Yeah. So did you go to the one at the church? What kind of people were there? Young people, middle-aged, older people? I'm just wondering. My dad used to go to Bible studies right up till he was very old. He studies at home now. His wife, his wife read the Bible. But yes, at church. So how did that go? How was your day, Grace? Did you have a wonderful cold Minnesota chilly? I don't know what it was like at your house, but up here it was cold, cloudy, and windy and nasty. And I just every time I went outside, I went back in. I just went outside and closed my barn door, and it was freaking cold. People of all ages. That's cool. There were a lot of people there for the Bible study. That's cool. I'm glad people want to know. Glad people want to figure out the Bible because, man, I could say a lot. But it is nice to know that at least there's people that want to know what the Bible says, because most people don't. Um, most people just going to take the pastor's word. But it's really nice to hear that there's a church somewhere that everybody likes to go and study the Bible. You just, I don't know, you just don't hear about it. You know what I mean? All right. All right. So, yeah. They have 4 study groups, one for women, one for men, one for teenagers, and one for kids. Really? That's kind of cool how it's, I guess, how it's broken up like that. You know what's weird though? There are 20 women in the women's study. Oh, really? That's a lot. Wow, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Just imagine how many people are together. You know what though? It's kind of weird. They like to separate the men and the women, which I guess is all right. But if you can imagine, oh, pizza. I'm indie. I'm totally in. I would love some pizza right now. I haven't had pizza for. Well, actually, I had a frozen pizza. I don't like frozen pizza. I should have got a gas station pizza because they got a Casey's in one of the towns nearby. A couple different towns. It depends which direction I go. There's Casey's, these gas stations, and you can go in there and order a pizza, and they're actually pretty good. I like them. But instead, I got lazy and I bought a frozen pizza, and I ended up feeding most of it to the dogs. They liked it. Um, but imagine if they had added all the men and the women together, how much more people would learn? Maybe, I don't know if everybody put their heads together. You think it was Little Caesars pizza? I have not seen a Little Caesars since I moved up here. I liked their pizza when I had kids because they always had the $5 pizza. I think in the 90s and the 80s and whenever they first started, it was called Pizza Pizza because I think you could actually get 2 for $5 or something. It was really super cheap. And I think it ended up to be the home of the $5 pizza and all that. But for $5 you could get full, you and somebody else, or you and 2 kids. Um, all right, you know what I mean? You know what I ended up liking, but they're very expensive, was their little chicken wings. Their drummies or whatever the heck they are. Their little wingies. I like the hot ones. Either that or Domino's. Didn't pay attention to the boxes. Yeah. Yeah. Forget the box, man. How was the pizza? Pizza salad, man, I'm hungry right now. I really didn't eat good today. I had some wontons. I've been loving the wontons, cream cheese wontons. I baked a few of those, and then actually I don't even think I really ate. Now that I think of it. Oh, I had a grilled cheese. That's why I had a grilled cheese sandwich for supper. It was hours ago, so man, I'm hungry. Yeah, I didn't really eat today. A little bit. You were thinking, I think it was Little Caesars, yeah. Pizza's okay, yeah. Well, that's nice, man. Pizza and a Bible study sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Um, you know what? The other day, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. Um, I I saw a short. Well, no, it wasn't even short. It was maybe like a 3-minute video or 4 minutes. It's just one of those people that can get a lot in a 3-minute video. But anyway, very short video. And I think it was that Dan McClellan guy. I'm not sure. But anyway, he showed this guy, and the guy is saying, "Man, I don't know what's wrong with today in church. Uh, he said every church I go to, there's a woman preacher. Why is there women preachers? That's blasphemy." And then they switched to this Dan guy, and Dan's like, no, actually, women preachers aren't blasphemy. And he gave a lot of examples. I should go back and check that video. But anyway, he gave a lot of examples about women in the church, and even Paul, who was praising one of the women in the church for being a leader, and then also Paul said when women are prophesying in the church, they have to cover their head. Like, wait a minute, now there's women prophesying in the church? Yeah, that's what Paul said. When women prophesy in the church, they need to cover their head. He had a lot of examples how Jesus and Paul both propped up women in the churches. So anyway, it's just kind of funny. I'll tell you what's wrong. I'll tell you what's wrong in the church. Oh, what's her name? The one that looks like the Joker on purpose. Joan Myers, or no, what's her name? Joyce Myers. Is that her name? Joyce Myers, I think. That's what's wrong. Okay, you walk into church, you see Joyce Myers. Okay, that might be blasphemy. So I'm pretty sure she purposely makes her face look like the Joker. I'm pretty sure this is not intentional. Totally intentional. You've heard some good women preachers? That's right, I have too. You don't care for her? No, Joyce Myers is weird. She does look like the Joker, and I think it's on purpose. I think she's trying to. Because, nah, you'd take one look in the mirror and you'd say to yourself, and then you'd see all the comments agreeing with what you saw in the mirror, like, yeah, why does she look like the Joker? Totally making her makeup to look like the Joker. I don't know, anyway. weird. Um, anyway, and I just hate when people say, oh, well, we're getting punished for what Adam and Eve did in the garden when we ate from the tree. Like I said, don't lump me in. And you know, it's funny. How can we get punished for something Adam and Eve did when we're not even supposed to be getting punished for the sins of our parents? You know, we're not supposed to die and have horrible things for the sins of our parents, but we're supposed to be doomed because of someone 6,000 years ago made a mistake. Makes no sense. Plastic surgery will do that. Look at Dolly Parton. Yeah. You know what, Dolly Parton, boy, she a sellout. Remember she came out with that song instead of Jolene, 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 that song? It was vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. Anyway, she just came up with something. I can't remember what it was. It was another total agenda. What did she just come out with? She's always championing the agendas. And what was the one she just did? Oh, you don't remember? Yeah, she had a song. It was like the Jolene song, the same tune, but instead of Jolene, she'd say vaccine, 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 vaccine. Oh, please, won't you go get yours today, or something like that. Yeah, look it up sometime. It's not good. Anyway, she's always there. She just did something else. What was it? It was another total agenda. Actually, I could just look it up. See if she's in the news. What was it this week? Because I heard it on the radio and I thought, man, now she's on to the next thing. Wait, here. Oh, that's. I gotta get on this Noah's Ark thing because I got something to show you guys. Yeah. What's her name? Dolly Parton. Mark actually went to Dolly Parton World and they were closed. You know the people that have the channels that talk about Transformers, you know what I mean? They point the fingers at her. You know what I'm saying? She's 77 years old. I thought she'd be older than that. Come on, Dolly. I thought you'd be older than that. 77. Well, almost 80. Tina Turner died. What was she? 86. No, yeah. Was she 86? Uh-huh. Why? Okay, why does Dolly Parton always wear gloves? Well, why do you think? Why? Because she doesn't like her elbows. Give me a freaking break. Do you know why she always wears gloves? You know why? Because the hands will show everything. I'm sure she was disappointed. He was hoping to bump into a couple things. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he wanted to get his eyes filled up and see if he could yeah. Let's see, get his hands on something down there. Let's see here. Excuse me. My head's plugged. Huh. Well, it's all this Tina Turner, Dolly Parton stuff. But what was she? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Her new song is about climate change. It's a climate anthem. And then she also had another one. Another one. she's in politics now. The rock and roll Dolly Parton's political wake up call. So now she's into politics, climate control songs, and vaccine songs. And you guess what she calls the politics? Dolly ticks. Yeah, make it up. Dolly ticks. It's not politics, it's dollytics. It was forecasted to rain this morning, but it feels like, oh, really? Yeah, it was all cloudy and gross here. Yeah. Yeah, she's into dollytics instead of politics. Dollytics. So that's her new thing now. I mean, she might, yeah, they might keep her on for a little bit. Anyways, well, I'm glad it didn't rain. It was cloudy for a while, but no rain. That's good. I guess they think they need more ticks. Yeah, polyticks. Poly means many. The Greek or whatever. It's a medical term. Poly means many. So if you're polycystic, you have many cysts. She's trying to stay relevant, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, they keep pulling her out, getting the dust off her and putting her back out there. Yep. Yep, she's 100% sold out. No, they all are. As a matter of fact, you know what I learned today? I learned a new thing. And it was on I can't remember where because I watched these few things today. In fact, I got blown away by the things I learned today. But anyway, one of the things I can't remember whose channel it was on, but it was something called it's the I know it was on actually I don't know, maybe Zach Hubbard's, I don't know. What it's when you sell your soul to the devil, like in Hollywood, whatever. But there's an actual name for it. It's some deal that they do. Let me see if did I bookmark it? I hope I did. But it's actually a legit thing where they sell their soul and they give up something that they themselves worship. They have to give it up. So if it's their kid or their family, here it is. Here it is. It's called. Let me pull it up. It's called Faustian Bargains. Yeah, I'll show you real quick. Let me get the camera here. It's called oops, what the heck happened? It's called a Faustian bargain, a pact whereby a person trades something of supreme moral or spiritual importance, such as personal values or the soul, for some worldly or material benefit, such as knowledge, power, or riches. And well, they claim that if everybody who is they say it's called a name, but if you're like a household name, if you can say somebody's name to anybody and they know who that person is, they've probably made a Faustian bargain. And that way you have, um, that's your fame, worldly benefit. So anyway, and here it's also known as the deal with the devil. Same thing. A deal with the devil is a cultural here. A deal with the devil is a cultural motif exemplified by the legend of Faust and the figure of Mephistopheles, as well as being elemental to many Christian traditions. Yeah, the deal with the devil. So, I thought that was interesting. But yeah, she's staying relevant, but you know. Janet Jackson had a song back in the truck driver. I was distracted. I was looking at your comment. She played the part of Hannah Montana's grandmother. She played the part of Hannah Montana's grandmother on Nickelodeon kids show, hooking up with Miley Cyrus. Is that her name? Miley. Her name is Miley Cyrus. Yeah, that was Billy Cyrus's daughter. Some people say it. This is weird. Some people say it was a boy. Miley Cyrus is a boy, and some people even say it. I don't know. It was some weird. Like she's doubling for um um Justin Bieber and stuff like that. You never saw that show, so I don't know. Yeah, I never saw it either. In fact, my kids were too old by the time that stuff came out. I just remember her going from My Pretty Pony kind of stuff to swinging almost naked on a wrecking ball while twerking and putting a big foam finger up her rear end. Totally off the rails. Everybody's old childhood friend, Miley Cyrus, who grew up with ponies and Billy Ray, the country star dad. And now she's off the rails. I heard something really horrible. Because these people in Hollywood are sick. But they put Miley Cyrus through some MK Ultra mind control ritual. And what they did is they got her a dog, and it was like a Siberian Husky. And they got her dog, and she loved the dog. And anyway, she had the dog for a while. And what the Hollywood people say happened is that the music industry, I don't know why, but they went in her house and they killed her dog, horrible death. And then when she went on Saturday Night Live, she was playing the piano, and these are like humiliation rituals. They're rituals that they do to torture these actors and singers. That's why I'm hoping people don't win Hollywood, American Idol, because what happens to them is horrible. But anyway, so they were putting Miley Cyrus's MK Ultra crap where tormenting her. And anyway, so they killed that husky that she had, that Siberian Husky, whatever it was. So then they invited her to be a guest on Saturday Night Live. And as she's playing the piano, doing her thing, playing her piano, if I remember right, she really had any clothes on her, so I can't remember. Maybe she did. But it was during her wild time. Anyway, as she's playing the piano, they put a picture of her dog up on the screen, like gigantic. And you can see her look and like in shock as she's playing the piano. And anyway, if you ever see that on Saturday Night Live, you can see what they did to her. It's horrible. Disgusting. Anyway, so live TV in front of audience, they did that to her. And yeah, she almost lost it because, they put that bitch up. She never expected it. Yeah, she seemed bratty. She was a poor kid, though. She did grow up in that music industry hellhole, satanic world, and it seems like they barely have a chance. I mean, that's why I do believe in probably getting reincarnated because what about these people who have a horribly unfair life and no chance and everything? And I don't know. That's their one shot. You know what I mean? Anyway, so tonight, like I said, I'm gonna. I think God puts everybody and plants them all over the place, different times, different situations, different whatever, and He sees how if you're gonna still be a good person. And next time it'll be Maybe you'll be on the receiving end of something you were doing. You know what I mean? Who knows? Nobody knows really for sure. Yeah, I heard some mind blowing things today. Yeah, that's her name. Yeah, Miley Cyrus. Miley. Anyway, yeah, a lot of people. Not again those Transformer channels think that she's a boy. Like I said, some people went as far as saying she was Justin Bieber, Justin, whatever his name. Mm. You know what I heard somebody saying on a live stream? Somebody pointed out that Hillary Clinton has not been seen in 2 years. No, not one sighting in 2 years, I'm pretty sure. She might be coming back to run against Trump. You know what I mean? Or maybe they're making a clone right now. Maybe she's dead. I don't know. But anyway, she's not been seen in 2 years, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, that's kind of weird. But anyway, somebody guessed that maybe she's going to be back as a candidate against. Do we have to see her again? I hope not. You know what else is going to be coming up in the future? I'm pretty sure. We're going to have Chelsea Clinton make her appearance at some point in politics because she's in fact, I think she's an open Satanist or something, but it's whatever. But she's probably going to show, you know who else is probably going to show their face in politics at some point down the road would be, well, a couple people. Trump's daughter, I forgot her name, the older one with the long blonde hair. The one who's married to the Jewish guy. Barron, that's a good point. Barron might be in politics, but Trump's daughter, that was kind of on. It was kind of on The Simpsons. It might be Trump's daughter. You know who else probably down the road is going to be running for president? I would not be surprised. Would be the George Bush twins. Those girls. Remember the daughters? Remember there were in the news at one time where they were drinking at a party and the police put them in the back of the police car and they kicked the back window of the police car out and went crazy? Yeah, Barron's way too young. You see, he's like 7 feet tall or something. He's 14 years old. Oh, it's weird. Some people think he's part Nephilim or something. Not sure. But anyway, yeah, Barron would be down the road. I think the Bush twins, I think they'll be down the road at some point. Like I said, Chelsea Clinton, Trump's daughter, maybe the son. Because that's what they do, you guys. They keep it in the family. We all know that. I don't know. Is there any Kennedys alive? I'm sure they could scrape one of those up and put one of those out there. And I don't know, probably an actor. I see an actor or actress or something run for president down the road. It's pretty they're not even really that creative, you know what I mean? So anyway. So all right. You know what I was thinking today? I was looking at the Dome of the Rock. Robert Kennedy Jr. might run for president. Oh, is there any Kennedys left? There's Robert Jr. I don't even know who that is, but he'll probably. Jesse the Body, he might. If anybody doesn't know, he was our Minnesota governor, and a lot of people got Jesse money. He gave out Jesse checks for everybody. I can't remember. Mine was forfeited to the at the time I owed on my what's it called, student loan. Mine was captured by the student loan people. I'm paid off now, but yeah. Rumor is Kennedy Jr. will run. Who's Kennedy Jr.? Robert Kennedy Jr.? Yep, like I said, they're gonna resurrect a Kennedy some point. If there's any left, it'll be a Kennedy sometime. And probably another actor too. I mean, it seemed to be history repeats itself. You know what I'm saying? They don't really seem that creative. You know what I mean? It's just weird. Oh, I was thinking about the Dome of the Rock. So the Dome of the Rock, I was looking at it today. I thought, you know what's weird? I looked it up because, in fact, I don't want to look it up again. But anyway, I'll give you pretty close. So anyway, so the first temple that was built, the first temple, you think DeSantis is running? I don't even know who that is. Let me see. I don't know any politics. Let's see here. I know old recycled ones from like 80s and 90s. Hold on a second. Come on, man. All right. How long did the first temple last? The first temple stood for 410 years. All right, get that. 410 years. Put a pin in that. How long did the second temple last? Second temple lasted 420 years. Almost exactly the same. First temple, 410 years. Second temple, 420 years. Do you know how long the Dome of the Rock's been on there? Over 1,000 years. Over 1,000 years. As a matter of fact, this year it's 1,000 years because it was built in 1023. So right now is 1,000 years old, but it was there longer than that because there was actually I can't remember if it was Temple of the Mount, whatever they called it. There was one before it, but it got old and crumbled. So it fell down, and then they built a new one exactly 1,000 years ago this year. 1,023, they built this second Dome of the Rock. So their Dome of the Rock has lasted 1,000 years, as opposed to the Jewish temples that were knocked down 410 and 420 years after they got put up. You're just trying to remember what his real last name, but I'm drawing a blank at the moment. Kennedy, real last name? What, he just pulls that Kennedy out for his status. It's not his real last name. Yeah, DeSantis. Yeah, I don't know. I have zero involvement in politics. I don't know who people on TV are anymore either. All right. So I'll pray a sinner. We're going to get to this. What I think is interesting is the ark story, the flood story. Did the Bible take it from somebody else? Maybe. Maybe. Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us once again. We thank you for all that you provide, including our gatherings. Amen and amen. Most of them change their last name to Kennedy or away from Kennedy. From Kennedy or to Kennedy. They don't want to be a Kennedy anymore. They don't want to be a Kennedy. All right. Let's see here. All right, so get this, you guys. So today, I gotta write down some of that information. I watched this video where people were talking about. It was actually Robert Price, and he's that old, some biblical scholar guy, whatever, talking to, I can't remember. I think it's Myth Vision. They're not getting along anymore. This is really a couple years ago. But they're talking about Enoch, and Enoch is actually we're going to probably study this soon. How Enoch is actually a sun god. And there's lots and lots and lots of proof and connections that he's a sun god, Enoch. And he was I can't remember, but anyway, that'd be a really cool study to do. Enoch. And also Elijah with his fiery chariot, just like the sun god Apollo. How Apollo rides in a fiery chariot. And how did Elijah leave the earth? On a fiery chariot. He never died. Oh, really? Enoch never died. Oh, really? You know how long? And you know what? Enoch actually, he actually debated, and I can't remember, but he debated back and forth about is it the lunar calendar or the solar calendar? Because of course he was in favor of the sun. He was a sun god, so Enoch is debated. He debated, over the sun, and he wanted the sun calendar. And the sun, of course, that rises Apollo. Anyway, there's a lot of associations with Enoch, and you know what a huge one is? How long did Enoch supposedly live? Enoch, one who never died, because he was so perfect, he had no sin. How long did Enoch live? As a dead giveaway. But anyway, there's so many connections. Enoch supposedly lived 365 years, just like the 365 days in the solar calendar. I mean, yeah, solar calendar. Anyway, just amazing stuff. It was really interesting. And so Elijah and Enoch both are connected to these Greek Apollo, the sun god, and Hermes. Apollo, all these sun gods. Anyway, it's fascinating to listen to. So, all right. And that's why over time they keep reappearing. Who? Elijah, Enoch and Elijah, and Moses. Moses and Enoch. Who met at the Transfiguration? What was it? Moses and Elijah, I think. Anyway, keep reappearing, and anyway. So, well, let's do this. Let's get over here. We're gonna find out where the flood story came from. Was it the Bible first, or was it from ancient other things? Yeah, maybe ancient other things. So let's look, shall we? Now, last night, what did we talk about? It was something just like this. It was totally can't remember. Anyway, it was something else. Something that had connections back to Mesopotamia. I have no idea. Since I've been looking into the Old Testament stories, it seems like a lot of them are recycled from other stories. They are, D. They are, all of them, from way before the Bible was written, way before even the Bible people were born. These are recycled stories. And I'm going to show you. Now, this Noah's Ark story here actually comes from ancient stories. Well, actually, the whole world was flooded. And so all these different cultures have their own version. Well, there were multiple versions long before Noah's Ark version. And not that long ago, I was listening to somebody. He is I got a mosquito in here. Did I get him? I don't know if I got him. Tinker. I was listening to some people talking about Noah's Ark. How now what came first? We don't know. Was it that big skeleton of a boat in Turkey? What was here first? Was it because they said, well, the measurements in the book of Genesis about the ark has the exact same measurements as the Noah's Ark they found in Turkey. Well, that never made sense to me, because how come all the elephants, all these zebras and giraffes and all these animals and lions and tigers and why did all these animals end up in Africa? How come there's none of these there in Turkey? Huh? Creation stories, flood story, exactly, D. Like a copy and paste job, totally. I was listening to a podcast recently where the host was playing with artificial intelligence, asking it about the flood. According to its answer, the flood was a myth, yet every culture has evidence. Yeah, no doubt. They do. I mean, they find seashells on top of mountains, really far from oceans. I mean, um, anyway, so this flood story, we're going to go over this. Yeah, this was not, the Bible was not the original flood story. Now, as a matter of fact, yeah, so Enoch lived 365 years, just like 365 days in the year and a solar calendar. And now we're going to go over the real story. Well, I don't know when I say the real story. We're going to go over earlier story that came before all this. Ancient Greek flood myth of Deucalion and Pyrrha. Deucalion and Pyrrha. All right, this is the flood story. I think this is the original flood story. All right, let me try to shrink this so we can see it. Right here. Come on, man. All right. Ancient Greek myth of Deucalion and Pyrrha. The story of Deucalion and Pyrrha is the Greek version of the biblical flood story of Noah's Ark, as told in the Roman poet Ovid's masterpiece, The Metamorphoses. The story of Deucalion and Pyrrha is the Greek version, like the tales found in the Old Testament and Gilgamesh, the Greek version. The flood is a punishment of humankind by the gods. Now, pull this, maybe you could see it clear if maybe I could pull it up closer. So now we already went over one a while ago, and I can't remember if it was the what part of the world that one was from, but this is the Greek version. Great flood tales appear in many different Greek and Roman documents. Hesiod's the Theogony, 8th century BC. There's a mosquito. There's the same little mosquito, I think. Anyway, so this is 8th century, 5th century Plato in the 5th century, Aristotle's meteorology in the 4th century, Greek Old Testament or Septuagint in the 3rd century, and Pseudo-Apologists in the Apollodorus in the library in 50 BC. So as you see, many cultures for many generations and many others. Some Second Temple Jewish and early Christian scholars were of the opinion that Noah, Deucalion, and the Mesopotamian Xisuthros or Utanipsim were the same person, and that so we went over this before. Mesopotamia has all the same. It's got Job, it's got Jonah, it's got the flood, it's got all that stuff, the creation story. They've got all that. But anyway, they're in the opinion that Noah, Deucalion, and the Mesopotamian Xisuthros and Utanipsim were all the same person, and the various versions were all of a single ancient flood that affected the Mediterranean region. Because let's get real. I was thinking this. Now, if you were in this flood back then, and everywhere around me within thousands of miles whatever, as far as you could see, everybody died. You would not really know necessarily that another part of the earth, maybe on the other side, far away, maybe they didn't flood, but you would assume the whole earth flooded, but maybe it did. But who knows, right? Who knows if part of it flooded the Mediterranean region or did it all flood? Who knows? Because in all stories, you have just a few survivors. In the story of Noah, what do you have? You got Noah, his wife, and 3 kids and their sons. 3 sons and their wives. So you got 8 people who are righteous that survive. Everybody's version has a righteous few that survive. Now, let's go into the sins of the human race, okay? Because this is how these flood stories always start out. Like, the humans are so bad, we got to kill them. So anyway, the sins of the human race. So we already know what Noah's story is, right, in the Bible. So let's hear this other one. The sins of the human race. Now, this is always the start of these flood stories. It's always people's the reason for flooding is because the people are bad. Not like the sprinkler got turned on and forgot about, or nothing like that. It's always because the people are bad. And thinking it's possible that some people managed to make it to a higher grade. Yeah, me too. Now in the Bible, in Genesis, it said that they claimed that they had it by furlongs or cubits or whatever it was, but it measured that the water went 20 feet above the highest mountain. 20 feet above the highest mountain. Now, was it the highest mountain around them, the Mediterranean, or was it the highest mountain in the whole world? We don't know. But that's what they claim. But yeah. Anyway, and now sins of the human race. In Ovid's tale, written about 8 CE, Jupiter hears of the evil doings of the humans and descends to Earth to find out the truth for himself. Which, if you think about it, this is mind blowing, you guys. I'm going to mingle a few things together. So in Ovid's tale, Jupiter, the god Jupiter, hears that there's horrible things going on with the humans, and he descends down to Earth to find out the truth for himself. Now, this is very, very much just like the story about Lot going, Abraham story of Abraham and Lot, how the father figure goes to see if there's any righteous people. And what happens? God sends two angels, doesn't he? Sends two angels down to Sodom and Gomorrah, down to Lot's house, doesn't he? Okay, keep that in mind. Keep all these stories in mind. Because I'm even going to show you, anyway, I'll just keep going. So in Ovid's tale, written about 8C, Jupiter hears of the evil doings of humans and descends to Earth to find out the truth for himself. Visiting at the house of Lycaon, he is welcomed by the devout populace. The host of Lycaon prepares a feast. Sound familiar? Does it sound like the angels going to Lot's house to find out how evil it is? Anyway, however, Lycaon commits two acts of impiety. He plots to murder Jupiter, and he serves up human flesh for dinner. Jupiter returns to the Council of Gods, where he announces his intention to destroy the whole human race. And remember, this is also very reminiscent of another thing, of was it Abraham saying, oh God, if there's 50 righteous people, 40 righteous people, 30 righteous people, and then they didn't find any righteous people, so it's decided they have to go, right? So these are kind of a bunch of little, you'll see little reminiscent pieces of other Bible stories in this story right here. Which story was first? Anyway, Jupiter returns to the Council of Gods, where he announces his intention to destroy the whole human race, indeed of every living creature of earth, because Lycaon is just a representative of the whole corrupt and evil lot of them. A lot. Interesting. Jupiter's first act is to send a thunderbolt to destroy Lycaon's house, and Lycaon himself is turned into a wolf. Next, Deucalion and Pyrrha, the ideal pious couple. Now, in every flood story, there's always going to be, God's going to pick, whatever God it is, he's going to pick out a couple of righteous people, flood the whole rest of them, and let the new righteous couple start over, right? Sound familiar? All right, so Deucalion and Pyrrha are the ideal pious couple, just like Noah was, right? And his family. Now, the son of the immortal Titan Prometheus, Deucalion is warned by his father of the coming Bronze Age, ending flood, and he builds a small boat to carry him and his cousin/wife, Pyrrha, the daughter of Prometheus's brother, Pentheus, and Pandora, to safety. Jupiter invokes the flood waters, opening the waters of the sky. Sound familiar? Now in Genesis, it's the same thing. He opens the windows in the skies, remember? He floods from the ground up like a sprinkler system, and he opens up the windows of heaven. So it goes from the top and the bottom. Jupiter invokes the flood waters and opening the waters of the sky and the sea together, and waters cover the entire earth and wipes out every living creature. When Jupiter sees that all life has been extinguished except for the ideal pious married couple, cousins, Deucalion, son of forethought, and Pyrrha, daughter of afterthought, he sends, so this is the two pious couple. One is the forethought, the other is the afterthought. This is the couple. He sends the north wind to scatter the clouds and mists. He calms the waters and the floods subside. Now, repopulating the earth. You know what this is very also reminiscent of? See if you can, see if anything comes to mind in the Bible. Repopulating the earth. Now, in every flood story, there's a way that there's a holy, very righteous couple that gets saved to repopulate, and then there's always the repopulating part. So how does it get repopulated? Now, Deucalion and Pyrrha survive in the skiff for 9 days in the boat, okay? And I heard at one time it was a crate, like a wooden box or crate, whatever it was a boat. And when their boat lands on Mount Parnassus, interesting, I'd like to know where that is, they discover that they're the only ones left. They go to the springs of Cephisus and visit the temple Themis to ask for help in repairing the human race. Themis replies that they are to leave the temple with veiled heads and loose clothes, throw behind you the bones of your great mother. Deucalion and Pyrrha are at first confused, but eventually recognize that the Great Mother is a reference to Mother Earth, and the bones are stones. They did as recommended, and the stones soften and turn into human bodies. The humans that no longer have a relationship to the gods, the other animals are spontaneously created from the earth. Eventually, Deucalion and Pyrrha settle in Thessaly, where they produce offspring the old-fashioned way. Their two sons were Helen and Amphictyon. Helen sired Aeolus, founder of the Aeolians, and Doris, founder of the Dorians. And Zethus sired Aeacus, founder of the Aeacians, and Ion, founder of the Ions. Now, some people think that there's a story also. Think about this. The story of Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot and his wife, they're warned by angels to get out. First the angels are, first him and God figure out that there's no righteous people. So God intervenes, finds out that there's no righteous people with the help of humans. But God already knows there's no righteous people left, right? So this is kind of like the flood story. But in Sodom and Gomorrah, there's a few things that are borrowed from this story right here. In this story, like I said, they're sent to see if there's any righteous people. They find out there's only a couple. And these are angels or whatever. Another thing that happens is they're going to repopulate the earth. And what does this also reminiscent of? Sodom and Gomorrah. In the flood, they have to repopulate the earth. Now, some people think that the story of when Lot's daughters got Lot drunk and had sex with the dad and both got pregnant to repopulate the earth. Now, I heard somebody speaking about this. That, wait a minute, and I have said this so many times. I'm like, yes, I've finally heard somebody say it. Wait a minute, why would they have to repopulate the earth? They know darn well that Abraham's still alive. They know other people are still alive. And what I wanted to chime in, but it was a 2-year-old video. I wanted to chime in, but also remember, they were going to town to buy stuff in town. They're buying the wine in town. They're buying things. They're going to town to buy things. Why would they think the earth needs to be repopulated if you're going to town and buying stuff from people in a town, in a city? Well, it makes sense. It makes sense if yeah, that's a good point, Grace. It makes sense if you're stealing from this story, because in this story they have to repopulate the old-fashioned way. You're right. And so in the story of the flood, it's Noah's sons and their wives. And Lot, it's Lot's daughters having sex with him to have Moab and the other one. But wait a minute. So, like I said, now the story doesn't make sense because there's no reason for them to think that they have to repopulate the earth. There's people all over the place. But it does make sense if they borrowed this and put it into the The Lot story, Abraham and Lot story. This version says that they produced children the old-fashioned way. What's the old-fashioned way if it's not a copy of another version? Maybe the daughters wanted to have their children in the same bloodline. Yeah, but they said it was because they thought they were the last people on earth. That's what their excuse was. I don't know, maybe they're thinking something else, but their reason in Genesis was that they thought they were the only ones on earth. And it was up to them to repopulate the earth. Well, that comes from this story, the repopulating story. Because you know what? In the Bible, you just assume that Ham, Shem, and Japheth left their dad. Noah stayed there with a wife. Ham, Shem, and Japheth went 3 different directions and repopulated the continents. Dogs are loud. So now we're just going to assume that they all had children. They didn't say, well, they kind of did, but that was their repopulating. Listen how loud that is. It's disgusting. I swear they do it on purpose. It's never this loud when I'm by myself. It's only when I'm on here. They do it for a long time. Super loud on purpose. It's like they know it drives me nuts. He's never does this during the day. Ever. This is on purpose. Never does he do this. I didn't just put down a pan of water. It's been there all day. Put it down there about 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Listen to that. Acting like he's never drank before. I didn't just get up and put it out there. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting, actually. I feel like throwing something at him, really. Insane. That's intentional. I mean, are you sure you didn't get enough there? Unbelievable. All right. Anyway, where are we at? We're at an hour. Okay. Well, I'll wrap this up. So that is the Greek version of the flood story. It's the same story every time. Okay, God goes down and checks to see how evil it is with some help. Finds out it's really bad. There's only a couple good people. Same with Sodom and Gomorrah. Same thing with Sodom and Gomorrah. Same thing. Finds that there's only a few righteous people. Decides it has to destroy it all. Gets the righteous people out. Destroys it all. Now they got to figure out how to repopulate. Same story. Kitten had a big, ugly June bug. Oh, in her water bill. Yeah, those things are. I know. You know what? I still haven't seen one, but when I was digging in the garden, I saw one under the ground. Yeah. Yeah. Them are disgusting. I hate them. I still haven't seen one up here yet. Not looking forward to it. So tomorrow is tomorrow's Friday. Open chat. End of week. All that. Let me shut that off. She gently took it out and let it go. Oh, really? She took it out? Weird. That's nice of her. She wasn't out to kill it, just didn't want it ruining her water. Oh, by the way, I'm going to show you real quick. Remember we just talked about Deucalion? which is from the deluge, the flood. You could also look that up. Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you, Grace. So then you could also look this up and see who Deucalion was. King of Thessaly. They must have they always had coins of people. They still do. You know what's different about our country and other countries? Other countries have their live people on it, and our country has dead presidents. Theirs has the live presidents or the live king or the queen, and we have all dead presidents. It's just weird. Like there's not a Trump coin in circulation or a Bush coin. You know, thank God there's none of them coins. So who cares? But still, they're all dead presidents. But other countries have they had like the Queen on their money. Now they're gonna have Prince Charles on some money. I'm sure they already have it. Now Prince Charles will be on their money and stuff. But it's just weird how America they got to be long dead. It's like the Catholic Church. Like you can't become a saint until you're dead. You're right, D. Tomorrow is Thursday. Thank you for reminding me. For some reason, for a second there, I thought it was Thursday. Now, I knew it was Wednesday because we were talking about the thrift shop having their sale. Next week's the 90% off. You know what, you guys? I just realized this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Because I was thinking it was next weekend, but no, we'll be into June next week. It's, this weekend, because Monday is Memorial Day. So this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday that's when I'm overcharging my phone here. This weekend it kicks off the vacation in Minnesota. So we kids are getting out of school and everybody starts vacationing up here where I'm at. So we're gonna be busy with vacationers now. But anyway, this weekend is Memorial Day. Yesterday you thought it was Wednesday? Well, yeah. Somehow I got mixed up. Just for a minute though, because why did I think all of a sudden I thought maybe tomorrow is Friday? Somehow I skipped Thursday. I don't know. What are you gonna do? I'm delirious. It's 10:30. I got up super early this morning. Man, like 6:30 or 7. Because I know I had to go early into town. Wow, it just started spring and summer. I know. It's going too fast. You know how I know it's going too fast? The sun is already over my barn. And that's like, wow. It went from across the road to over my barn really quick. Across the road is winter, and now it's summer. Anyway, all right, ladies. And anybody else listening, thanks for being here. And praise God. Thank you for our fellowship. Anyway. Yeah, the Memorial Day's here, and we're kicking off summer soon. You know, it's too bad. If you live in Minnesota, you've got 6 months of winter, and the other 6 months is spring, summer, and fall. It's only 6 months, and it's like Alaska. We'll get my grocery shopping done tomorrow before the hordes come in. For hamburgers and hot dogs, hopefully. Oh, yeah. Hamburgers and hot dogs sounds good. I'm really hungry. Love you too. Well, love you too, Grace. Thank you. Love you too. Love you too, D and Grace. And everybody listening. Love you guys. Thanks for coming in. God bless each and every one of you. Praise and glory to God. Hallelujah and shalom. Have a good rest of the evening. Have an awesome Thursday. Or whatever day you think it is tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Anyway, shalom, everybody. Good night. And God bless. Hello, everybody.